I highly suggest when you talk to whatever manufacturer that you decide to purchase from, send them a message, because they have all these materials laying around their warehouses. Say, hey, I'm buying it to do this. I'd really like to see this logo, especially if you're going to be doing one thing. They will absolutely do that kind of thing. They'll do a use test for you.
Yeah.
It takes them like 30 seconds to download it, a couple of minutes to set it up, and they'll take a video for you, and you can actually see the application of what you're going to try to do with it. It's filmed.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Laser Source Podcast, the number one podcast. If you want to listen to me test out soundboard sounds, happy to be here. Kyle's shit is messed up, and Matt is being responsible.
Just messed up.
Wow, that's so loud. Oh my God.
There went all of the people watching the show.
I know. Yeah, just flush. Have you ever seen people get flushed?
Oh my God.
What's up, guys? It's Tuesday, as usual, the 12th of September, and we're here to answer some questions for you. Hopefully, you guys brought some interesting stuff to the table today. We're looking forward to talking to you all, as usual. And, Matt, you are looking fantastic today, sir.
Thank you. It is my last show that I'll ever do for the podcast in my 30s. I will be 40 on Saturday.
That is tragic.
So this face is basically just, it's gone.
I really want to.
The beard is going to be gray. I'm going to look like Vince No Bucks.
Just while we're answering questions and stuff today, I do have a variety of new sounds for the soundboard, and I want to test them out as we go. Here's the first one. Let me know if you can name this sound.
Does my vote count?
No.
Is that THX?
It's close.
Cinemark cinema thing? I don't know.
Hit me up in chat if you know what that sound is. I'd love to hear your input. More coming as we trudge our way through this podcast.
Nicholas Person says PSN.
PSN is very, very close. It's not technically accurate, but you're on the point there.
TriStar?
I don't know what TriStar is.
I think that's like a entertainment network.
Oh.
Speaking of an entertainment network, we're fun and entertaining people.
We are. It's the only podcast where you can hear me press this button.
So
did you record me typing?
No. What? No, it's Emperor Palpatine.
No.
I was like,
all I heard was typing, and I'm like, what?
What?
I haven't leveled any of these audios out either, so the volume's going to be all over the place.
Yeah, that guy was at like a negative 10.
It's so close, guys. It's PS1. It's PS1.
Oh, get out of here. That's PSN.
Why is it so quiet?
Because
PSN
the first
didn't
one
exist.
that you did made everybody's ears bleed.
PSN didn't exist when the PlayStation 1 came out.
That is correct.
I don't know these things. I've been an Xbox guy my whole life. Let's go. Andrew's with me. He said Xbox?
Nobody knows what that is.
Xbox literally just has like sound blasting at you.
Microsoft makes Office, not video games. Stupid.
Halo. Just saying.
Do.
Yeah, see, you already know the song. You're about to start singing it.
Well, because Halo is good.
It's a video game.
Halo's not an Xbox thing. That's just a video game thing.
You said Microsoft makes Office.
Microsoft doesn't make Halo.
Okay.
They just own the rights to the name and publish it.
Lies.
Welcome to Gamer Corner, the number one podcast if you want to talk about video game sounds.
Listen, I swear to God that Microsoft is the people who make it, okay? I swear to you. I swear on my virginity, okay?
Oh, Nicholas is saying, to me, I thought PSN was short for PlayStation. PSN's PlayStation Network, I believe, technical abbreviation, actually, is PSX for the original PlayStation 1.
Nerd level unlocked.
Do you think that my computer will run Premiere while I'm doing StreamYard?
No.
Well, we're going to find out.
Blue screen of death coming at you.
Miranda says nerds.
Yeah, basically.
This is a good podcast. I just felt like I had to shout that. I don't know. What are you staring at, Matt?
I am looking at this beautiful thumbnail that you made and the title that you gave it that's really just gorgeous. That was like, I love my family.
That's right.
My daughter guides my choices.
If you guys haven't seen the new thumbnail, it's amazing.
I have the JPEG with all of the different file names on it.
Material world. Of course, the day we come with nothing. We have nothing today. Just
What do we got?
being transparent. Hey, look, it's Kyle. We have Kyle. We
Sam
literally
Kyle.
showed up today with nothing, and you guys don't have questions. Ask some questions. Throw me a hypothetical. If you could live on a desert island and you could only bring one laser, what laser would it be?
Ooh.
So what is your answer to that, Alex? To that hypothetical?
It's obviously the UV. Any other answer is stupid.
That's fair.
I would bring the one that makes fire the easiest.
I mean, I guess not fiber would be like a little bit of a challenge.
Fiber burns. What kind of wood are we talking about here on this island? Are we
Are we
in the
talking-
southern Pacific region?
Are we assuming that we have like a power source?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You got salt water, you got an alkali, and then what's the other thing you need? Acid, right?
Coconuts? No.
Work for the professor.
Kiwis?
Also, you could just use the focal ends from either laser to get the sun just
That's
right.
probably your best bet. I mean, that's why I was kind of asking, like, if we don't have power, I bet some of those lenses are better I would probably go CO2.
Also, galvanometer, if you at the right angle with the sun, it could like flicker and just be like SOS, SOS at like super speeds.
If it's powered.
Well, you better find something.
If it's not, if we don't have power, I say CO2 galvo, because the zinc selenide lens would capture the infrared as heat and then focus the infrared light and give you more heat.
I didn't listen to a word you just said.
Well, you're fired. So,
Okay. I literally was like tagging
Whoa.
things in the chat.
there we go. White light. What's up, guys?
I want to.
Matt needs 2 lasers, some coconuts. Andrew's like potatoes. Probably
Thank
wise.
you. Thank you. Just your desert island potatoes.
Calm down,
These
Matt
coconuts.
Damon.
What?
No.
Did you see this from Cubing? He said, no joke. I got that question in my Business 1000 class today
What laser
at-
did you bring
at
to a desert
college.
island?
at college because he's like, I'm at college. F you, Alex.
I think the right answer would be like one of those like 5-watt blue lasers, with the battery.
That would definitely start a fire.
That's what I'm
And it
saying.
would get you seen for sure. Yeah, I mean, you wouldn't be able to see anymore, but people would see you.
That's what's important.
An X tool.
We
F1 or
don't
EV.
condone pointing those at airplanes. That's naughty.
We do
Don't
not.
that.
Unless, I would condone it if the situation
You
called
were
for it.
dying. Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
The plane would
It's
just
the wrong way to
unload
get
its-
attention.
The plane would just circle back and unload its like fecal matter on.
I was like, you just need to burn the whole island to the ground. Someone will notice the volcano-looking structure in the distance.
Here's a good question that we should have starred, but we didn't.
Oh, okay.
If you're traveling in a car at the speed of light, then you
Ugh.
turn the headlights on, what happens? Kyle, how could you skip this one?
I didn't get that far yet.
I don't know what the
okay.
answer is to that question.
You got that far. Why didn't you do it?
I'm
I
sure it
do
has
not
a real
start
answer.
Yeah. That would just be
The light will chew through your vehicle as if it were a lightsaber.
Another one.
but if you're going at the speed of light, what is that? C? Isn't C the speed of light?
Yes.
Okay, so that would just be C plus your velocity in the
No,
vector,
wrong. Nothing can travel faster than the speed of light.
except for the light in front of the speed of light.
No, that's wrong.
Then how is it MC
Stop
squared?
teaching bad science to our listeners. That's not right. It's not the
You know
right
what
answer.
you know what I have to say to that? I agree with Andrew. Potatoes.
Did you guys finish clearing LMA? Do we
Yes.
have questions on
It's cleared.
Facebook?
We do have some stuff we could cover.
I like our science hypothetical. I think this is rock solid
So-
entertainment. We have 31 listeners.
So Laura says, "Where's Boyce tonight?" He had some family stuff come up. He's taken care of.
Boyce had violent diarrhea so bad that he had to go to the hospital for it.
One of those is true. We'll let you guys decide.
And Laura asked, Alex is drinking something other than Coke.
Yeah, dude. It's sparkling ice.
Ugh.
When this one's done, I'm gonna get
Another one.
Yeah.
Alex's sparkling ass.
And Matt keeps starring Cubing's "What's up, Vince?" Because that is
Yes,
a
I do.
question.
That is
What
a
up, Vince?
question. What's up, Vince?
Everybody's always asking where's Vince. Nobody ever asks how's Vince, you know?
How's Vince?
Old and cranky.
Oof. And Laura wants to know if everybody's ready for LBX.
Ooh.
We got a month and a week, a month and 2 weeks, something like that.
Not ready. We still have shit we need to
I
get.
see real questions.
We've spent so much money and we are not even done. But I'm stoked for it. I'm emotionally ready. I'm mentally ready. But we don't have all our gear yet. I still need the video switcher. That's the big thing.
Mike wants to know if any laser welders are coming to the marketplace.
Undoubtedly.
Yeah, they will eventually, probably more than likely.
We
We
trying
have
to get somebody right now to post
3
their
or
stuff.
4 vendors that sell laser welders that are on the marketplace selling fibers.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe it's just a matter of time.
I mean, I know for a fact, like SFX has one. I think Mactron has one.
All of the laser vendors that are signed up to the marketplace and currently have listings do sell welders. They're just not listed.
We need to add a category for that, I think, still.
The like the 3-in-1s.
We'll just add like miscellaneous Galvo based
Other.
laser
Cleaner welder.
stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah.
cutter.
We
situation.
used to have a category for them.
And then we reworked them.
Alex pounding caffeine at 9 p.m. is my spirit animal.
Bruh.
If only you guys knew what it was like before we got in here.
I was singing Madonna. What do you
I
do
was, if you've ever seen someone sing She's a Maniac on the floor. That's literally what it was.
Yeah.
Yeah, Laser Star does sell welders, is what Cubing Crack said with a lull.
Laser Star would laugh at us if we asked them to join the marketplace.
They're also probably going to be $50,000.
They're hoity-toity.
Miranda said, if you could restart the shop from scratch, what would you have done differently?
Oh my God. She literally loves that question so much. She put it in Monday under the like video ideas thing like 6 months ago. And I haven't made the
It's a good video
Well,
idea, though.
now it can be turned into a short if you respond.
I would.
I have a good question about
I
that.
don't know.
Would you advertise more as an actual brick and mortar or nah?
I'd advertise sooner. I don't know about more.
What was your like marketing budget as a brick and mortar?
It's like $300 a month.
And that was later on when you were sort of established. Not
Yeah,
early
but that
on,
was
right?
like that kept us busy for sure. I mean, we got phone calls every day.
Did you put in like Google ads or something?
Yeah,
Or what
all of it. Oh, bro, dude, yes. That's actually a good answer to Miranda's question.
You're welcome.
I spent so much money on TikTok ads, Facebook ads, Instagram ads. None of them converted for me ever. If I had put every dime that I had put into those other platforms into just Google advertisements, like we would have been so much better off. That's something I'd do differently. I would not waste any money on social media ads ever. I'm vehemently against them now. I think you should just dump as much money as you possibly can into Google and then hope you can keep up with the work because it's going to come in.
There you go.
Yeah. Yep.
How do you prep your wood plaques for photo engraving? Maple and oak?
Ooh.
Question mark.
I don't do anything.
Make sure it's flat.
I was gonna say I've sanded it with
Yes, you can
normal
plane
sander.
it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sand it down if you really want to, but you don't have to. Certainly don't have to. If you follow the ultimate photo engraving guide, it shouldn't make a difference. As long as you have good settings for that wood already and you know you can get a dark dot on that wood, you can get a beautiful looking photo. It's all
And like probably would want to make sure you use at least what you got, the 2-inch or the 1.5 inch on a CO2.
I mean, the smallest you can get, and I would absolutely make sure that you're using a slow marking speed. I wouldn't go any higher than 300 millimeters a second. What's the other thing? Forgetting something. Oh, I just size-wise, I like 12 inches or bigger. I think anything smaller than that, unless you're doing some kind of stylized, and that's the big asterisk, right? If we're not talking about dithered photos, if you're doing some sort of stylized artwork photo where it's like super high contrast, or you're doing like a threshold or like a newsprint or something, there are exceptions to the words that are about to come out of my mouth. But in general, when you're just doing like dither raster photos, I think 6 inches would be like the absolute bare minimum, unless you had like an incredibly small dot size for some reason, right? No, got Cora behind you, Kyle. You must have an opinion on that.
I don't know. There's a lot of ways you can approach it. What was that?
That's D's nuts. I hit play by accident.
Way to go. I don't know. So when it comes to photo engraving on wood, I kind of have a preference of making sure the wood is prepared in the sense that it's flat. You've done your sanding already. You've done your prep. Granted, you're not going to want to put like coatings and stuff on it before you engrave it a lot of the time. Sometimes you do, but whatever. But like any sanding, any prep, any of that kind of stuff that you're going to do it before you engrave the photo on, because photos generally don't dig in very deep, right? So any sanding you do can wipe away, literally like an eraser, the details of that photo. Yeah. All the little fine dots can basically just get washed away.
Which, by the way, that's what I was going to say. That's a good reason to use a high grit sandpaper, like maybe a medium then to a high grit, just because you're trying to
give you the flattest surface.
Yeah, and like those, definition. Especially if you're using oak, like you said, because oak is very pitted sometimes. Especially when they've been sitting for a while, and they might dry where the glue is and stuff like that, depending on the plaque you do. So just something to consider.
Have you ever had to adjust your settings for different lots of black anodized aluminum?
Not anodized, powder coated, sure. Paint, absolutely not anodized. Anodizing should just be like, isn't that like a single, like molecular layer?
Yeah, it's like almost like a colored oxidation layer.
It should be identical every time you do anodizing. So you may have something painted. You might have something like powder coated or like Cerakoted or something like that.
If you're on a fiber and it's a different color other than black, if that's what you mean by different lots and black just snuck in there, like a red card versus a black card is potentially going to change, for example.
Okay. Yeah. But see, I will say I've had it before too. So not a business card, but like the different like thickness of the material too. I had an issue. Like I did a gray wallet one time and it didn't engrave well. And then, but it was an anodized, it was like one of those like fridge wallets, and it didn't engrave right with a picture. But then when I hit it with text, no problem. So that was kind of
there's different kinds of aluminum too. So I'm just saying that my point is like the anodizing isn't going to be the make or break. If you have a different, if you have a different aluminum, that could certainly make a difference.
Mm-hmm. So there you go.
What is it? 70, 75 is much harder than 60, 61. Are those the right numbers? I think they are.
Probably what the wallets are going to be made out of.
Right. So those are gonna definitely affect what's going on.
All right, next one. What do you
got? Alex, check your messages.
Okay.
VS3D says, ordering Ukuch seconds, any issue with 20-watt X tool being able to cut most of that wood? I saw your video where you show your purchase from them. Ukuch seconds, you're going to get varying thicknesses. Some of them will be very thick. I think the thickest I got was like 1.25 inches, 1.5 inches, something like that, depending on the wood. So you're not going to get consistent thicknesses with them. You're going to get varying thicknesses, varying sizes, widths, heights, everything. It's literally just whatever doesn't fit their normal packaging sizing standards. That's what you're going to get in that box, essentially. Some of them might be split. Some of them might have knots. It's seconds. It's literally just offcut sizes and different things that they can't put in their normal batches.
They're like normal, like 1/8 inch, 1/4 inch sheets that you get are like perfect. You know what I mean? Like perfect. The seconds aren't bad. Don't think that you're getting like bad pieces of wood.
It's
like,
just those thicker pieces that I would be concerned about.
Dude,
the vast majority of what you're probably going to get should be fine. I would say.
It's all nice, even just for practice. Even the thick stuff.
For the box of seconds I got and Alex got, I think we each only got maybe one thick offcut. And most of the rest of the stuff was like 1/2 inch or smaller for sure, right? Vast majority, I would say. So it probably won't be a problem. You'll be able to use the vast majority of it. Worst case, you can use the thicker ones as like a base to put the other piece on as like an art piece or something like that.
Or practice. You just
or practice on
mark it. Sand it. Mark it, sand it.
Yep. Miranda said, Alex, why did you drop out of high school 2 weeks before graduation?
I don't know. Probably because I was
sweat starts dripping down.
Probably because I was high as shit. That's about it. That's my only excuse. Not much of an excuse. Poor decision making. Stay in school.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Cuban says, how does Google Ads work? I don't know where people would even see them.
Google, mostly, which is nice. So, like, if you have a business and you live in Connecticut and you pay for a statewide ad, anybody who searches for laser engraving in Connecticut will be served your thing before other things that come up organically in search. It still looks like a search result, but it puts you at the top. And it uses meta keywords and a meta description and a meta title, just like any old website would, but it's at the top. And it makes all the difference in the world because it's the biggest search engine in the universe. So that's
it. If, for example, you search for just laser engraving in Google, you'll notice that like half the time the first 20 things on the page are going to be sponsored links.
Mm-hmm.
There's going to be a row for shopping. There's going to be a row for places locally. There's going to be other stuff below that sometimes, or sometimes they mix in normal results and then put more sponsor stuff at the bottom. So it kind of just depends. But if you've ever done a search and saw like half a page of sponsored stuff, that's where a lot of that shows up.
We're going to definitely be learning about that a lot more really soon because I'm going to be spending a lot of time in Google Ads advertising the marketplace. So to get that up and kick in and start generating traffic once we have our grand opening, which is still slated for October 1st.
All about meta keywords because I have spent many hours
making
them.
That's true.
So many hours.
That's very meta of you.
It is. Yeah. You can't say that anymore. That's trademarked.
Oh.
Well,
burn.
Cuban also says, hey, can you guys check out the fiber laser chat? And like a couple days ago, I did an engraving on a 5x7 and on the side didn't engrave correctly. Maybe you might be able to figure out why it did that.
Yeah, let's go.
I actually have that ready to go.
Oh, wow. Look at Matthew.
Oh.
Yeah, so that's why you guys pay me. That's what your LMA bucks are. Making happen. Let's see. Everyone's like, I quit. All right, let's see. Entire screen. Yeah, pretty much. We'll add to here. Whoop, nope, whoop. There you go. Bow.
Material world.
Look at this handsome fella. So this is basically what he was saying here is on the left side of his. So like the photo turned out great. This is cubing cracked, by the way, in case anybody's wondered. Alex
has the hair that does the swish. So if you're looking for swishing hair, cubing's your guy.
By the way, he did that in the LMA live events, which if you guys haven't signed up for one, we had a really great time.
Wait, what doesn't he like? These are bitching, dude. These are great.
No, it's not that he liked it. And I'm talking about the LMA live events.
No, I know, but he doesn't like this for some reason.
This one, he didn't say like, look at the thing.
Oh, it's fading.
It's fading on the left side, and to me, that looks like the scan heads having an issue.
Yeah, so that'd be where I would look. Yeah. And actually, level. Anthony said it too, had not leveled the bed. So I did
yep, there it is right there.
I did a short video not that long ago about making sure your head is level to your bed. Not level in the sense of like true level to earth, level to the thing it's literally sitting on and engraving the material of. So I would say check that out if you haven't, especially because I know you took your laser to college. That could be something that got bumped or twisted in transit and might be why you're seeing it now and might not have seen it earlier.
I don't know. It looks like the light source is above these engravings in this picture, but the text definitely looks far whiter on the right side. So I agree. I think it's a head leveling issue. And what Kyle's saying, just to be really clear, is that the laser could be at a 45-degree angle upside down. It doesn't matter as long as the bed and the head are off level by the same amount. They need to be parallel.
In parallel.
Yeah, yep. We want to get those parallel. So it doesn't matter whether or not your laser is level with the level. It just matters that the bed and the head are off by the same exact amount. And that should reduce issues like this big time.
Now, The other thing, too, might be just the lens you had, just thinking about it, because if this right here is 5x7 going up, like that's where you sit there, and because some people might say, like, is it the like lens distortion or something like that? Like, that's where you look at it. There's no issue here, but there is an issue here.
Yeah,
so that's where it's more like the Galva head.
You could always just use like a bigger lens because that's going to push any. Because when you use a larger lens, you have a larger depth of field. So it's going to be more tolerant of leveling issues like this anyway. So that would be like a cheater Band-Aid if you wanted to do that, if you have the wattage to push through it. But I don't think you have, Cubing. I'm pretty sure his laser's 30 watts, right? So
yeah, I was saying
level your head.
If anybody else thought that second thing, that's where I'd say I'd disagree, just because this one looks fine. So all right, here we go. Step sharing. Sus.
He also did say he's using a 184 field lens. That would be literally all of a 5x7. Well, all of a 7 of the 5x7 anyway. Mm-hmm. So you might be getting really close. Like maybe you were like literally 0.5 millimeter in or out of focus, and like a 0.5 degree of tilt could make a difference at that point or something like that. I still like you know what I mean?
Just the fact that it's so much brighter on that right side. Like if it was dim all the way around, like you had vignetting, that would be because the lens is a spherical, right? It's a circle. So those corners you're going to lose when you're projecting a circle onto a square workspace. So if you have vignetting and it's off in all of the corners, then you're pushing your lens too far. If it's localized to one side or one corner or, the top or just the bottom, that's usually leveling. Whether it's like, forward and aft or like side to side, you want to kind of isolate that and level for the side that
whether it's from the windows to the walls. Issues.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
All your light beams fall. I starred Andrew and I starred Anthony because those two guys are mods in our Discord and on Facebook, and they're awesome. And they were able to help us find those pictures, download the pictures, put them into the mod chat. They're awesome. Thank you.
By the way, can we have Andrew's thing queued up tonight? I really want to make sure we hit that. In fact, can we hit that now? Can we take a brief break and talk about that? Can somebody pull it up?
Yeah, I got it.
All right, great.
I'll get it.
Guys, you guys know Andrew. Andrew F, as he's known across the communities, or Andrew Farmer, is one of our most dedicated moderators at Laser Everything. Andrew participates in the LMA. Andrew participates on the Discord, practically runs the Discord. He's on our Facebook group. He watches over the new MakerREMIX network. He's answering questions basically every free moment he has, and he doesn't have a lot of them. He's got a family he's trying to take care of. He works like crazy jobs and stuff, and still he is super dedicated to the Laser Everything community. And for those of you who don't know, he recently had a medical event in his life involving his wife, and it was really hard, and they got through it together, and she's okay, but they are straddled with really serious medical bills now, and it's weighing them down big time, and they could use our help. And this guy has given so much to our community for a long time, for a really long time. So I'm going to ask you guys, please, if you can, if you have it, to support Andrew over on his GoFundMe page, which we're getting visual on shortly. We don't know.
Right.
Okay, I'll find it. Somebody talk about how great Andrew is for a minute while I dig this up.
Andrew's fantastic. So as Alex said,
fantastic.
He helps with everything he has an opportunity to help with. And it looks like Alex just linked it, or Miranda. So yeah, if you have the opportunity and ability, check that out. It is in chat right now. We'll throw it in the description too. And
there you go.
There it is.
I'm sure everyone in live chat right now, if you're on the LMA or Discord, has interacted with Andrew at some point, because he spends a lot of time there.
He's literally always
doing his best to help everyone. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. We'll spam this too after the show. So if you're looking for the link, I'll make sure we get it added in the description, and we'll throw it up across socials everywhere. If for some reason you are just aggressively against giving Andrew money for nothing, give Andrew money for something and patronize his new marketplace shop. So that was something Matt had pulled up.
Give me 2 seconds here. I'll get that pulled up.
I'll find out what the sound is. I don't know what this one is.
Oh, God.
Yes.
The truth is right here.
That's so great. I love it. All right, perfect. So he gets an ad. You get an ad. You get an ad. There he is. Oh my goodness.
Right here.
Yep. So skip the headaches. Shopify setup and design. Get on the road. Their company's name is Beth Creations, and Andrew offers a bunch of different options. You can see how detailed his product description is. He goes into detail about exactly what you're going to get. If you are struggling at all with your Shopify setup, Andrew's actually really experienced with this, and he's done it a lot. And so he's got a bunch of skills, and us and the guys actually had to talk Andrew into putting these listings up because he didn't want to do it. The man, as Matt said earlier, has no ego. I really like that. I'm stealing it.
In the best of senses, by the way.
Yeah, and
humble guy.
He's really good at what he does. So if you want to support him and put him to work, go check out his marketplace shop. He could really use some early reviews. I think the prices are totally fair. Can we get a click on one of those just to see all the things included in the product description? Because he really does go through a lot of stuff while helping you get your Shopify set up. And so, yeah, it would be great to check that out.
Zoomed in,
that's
so
something
you should
you
be
need.
able to read it.
Yeah.
So basically, he's got 3 different options in case you didn't see it. I'm planning on probably picking up the basic Shopify because I have 0 time and my Shopify really needs some attention. And haven't told him that. So surprise, Andrew, probably going to need your help.
No.
But basically, it's a Shopify setup to design and set up simple yet clean and efficient Shopify store. What comes with that? A complete store with logos, products, pricing, an hour video conference showing you how to use the site he's put together for you.
Hell yeah, dude.
Up to
that
5
alone,
products. Well, yeah, and that's the thing. He teaches you how to put products on there. And then what do you need? And so basically he goes through what you need to give him for the information. What else do I need to know? He's got some more information. I mean, you guys can obviously, I'll take that and I'll put it in chat for everybody too.
It
So
is
you can go take a look
half
at that.
the price of paying us to spend an hour with you. So it's a solid deal. Just from that perspective alone.
Yep. And it says right here, how long will it take? And it says it takes about a week. So you're getting a lot of work for that money. Like if you think about the amount of hours he's going to put in, plus the 1 hour that you get FaceTime with him.
Which again, alone, I feel like is worth the asking price. Just that you get that hour to learn how to use your Shopify store is like really great.
And then what's nice is he even says, can I request revisions? And he said, yep. He said, you can have 2 revisions absolutely free, 3 months from the site completion.
Wow.
And he offers paid support and extra revisions as well. So like if you want to go beyond that, he can just like if you want tweaks or you want to do some functionality issues,
Yeah.
which that's kind of what the more advanced setups are. So just saying.
Hell yeah.
Yep.
So long story short, guys, Andrew Farmer, biggest shout out, bro. We really appreciate you. The man is in need. He did not want to ask for it. We literally dragged him kicking and screaming into this. And
He's like, no one really needs this, do they? And we were like, literally half of the people who are on here all the time ask for this.
yeah, and the man could use some support from the laser community right now. He's given so much to everybody involved with laser everything, and it would mean a lot to me, the staff, and the rest of the volunteers if we could kind of turn around and give back to Andrew for a little bit.
Look what Kyle highlighted.
I know, I see it.
Alicia says, "Oh man, I need Shopify help.
Hit up Andrew.
I need
the
someone
man.
to pimp it out.
Yep, hell yeah.
We have your man."
Yep.
But see, and that's the thing. It could be anybody from a small store that's just getting started all the way to somebody who already has one, but it needs to get pimped out.
They
Mhm.
need
So,
they need
just
SEO help. They need optimization, whatever. Yeah.
Yep.
Anyways, I'm going to put that in chat. I need to do that. I'm going to post it right now. Boop. There it goes. And that's coming from the laser everything. Okay. Thank you,
Back
Andrew.
to it. Yep. Thanks, bro. We appreciate you.
All right. What do we got next, Kyle? We stopped right here with Laser of Love.
Does Google have a free website? I heard somewhere today that they do. Is there a place to get a free website? You can get a
pull it up.
free business page. I wouldn't say it's a website.
No, you can
but
do a website. I'll show
Can
you.
you?
So yeah,
Okay.
here. Let me pull it up. Hold on.
Alex got this.
Boop, 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 boop. Just prefacing this, I
You
don't
can
recommend it. But here we go. Let me
If you
share my
had
screen,
nothing else, it's
and we're gonna go to. Hold on. Wrong window. Not Domino's domains.
you can tell what really happens over at Alex's office.
All right, let's see.
What are the settings for a medium pizza, Alex, on a CO2 Galvo?
4. Okay, so we're fast forwarding a lot here because this isn't a Google Domains tutorial. But if you buy a domain on Google Domains for a website, that's the name. So this is like MakerTakeout.com, just something that we were going to use and then decided not to.
Are you trying to share right now?
Oh, yeah. Am I not up? Yes.
I got you.
Thank
There
you.
you go.
So here, MakerTakeout.com is just a domain I bought on Google Domains. Once you buy this, you get a bunch of Google services built in, like Google Workspace, where you can get your email address, you@MakerTakeout.com. That can be whatever you want it to be. The very second thing is create a website. Build your no-code website with tools from Google, or connect your domain to paid services like Squarespace. So whether you're using a service like Squarespace or Wix or whatever else, or you want one of Google's sites, you can just click it right here. It's literally, this is it. Build website. You click it. Done. Once you are in here, you can see a simple site powered by Google Sites, and I am fairly certain this costs nothing. So we'll click Start New Site. Automatic connection not available. Blah, blah, blah. Great. Okay, nobody cares. Create. Let's go ahead and create. And then here it is. This is Google Site Builder. So we could just do MakerTakeout.com. And you can do everything that you would think, you'd want to be doing. So like I could grab this picture of Admiral Akbar and we could throw that up there. There he is. We can skip the tour. You can add things like different, stuff that you have. Stuff 1, and then like other stuff, and we can upload a picture of Jimmy with a reindeer, and you can add things like buttons and image carousels, table of contents, social links, YouTube videos, literally like even Google Forms, Sheets, all kind of like integrate directly. Obviously, if you're running a brick and mortar business, you have like the Maps API, so we could go ahead and enter an address into the map, like 123 William Street in New York, and select it, and it's gonna show a map of your business, which is super cool. And there's a bunch of other features too, like contact us, kind of informational things, and a bunch of little very simple templates so you can go ahead and just drag and drop, showcase your work, things like that. It exists. I think that the paid site services are going to offer a better user experience and more flexibility, and I would really recommend making that investment. But if you absolutely positively cannot do that, you buy the domain once for $12 a year, and then you pay nothing for a Google site, and it links to your domain automatically. It's this easy, guys. Watch. I'm going to hit publish right here. We're going to do www.makertakeout.com. Oh, we can't do that. Maker Takeout. This is just your like Google Sites domain. We'll hit publish. And it should just work, if I remember correctly. We should be able to just go to makertakeout.com now. No. Okay. Well, that would be too easy because we're live.
It might take a couple minutes.
Yeah.
I was going to say, usually, like, did you hit the publish button over there?
Yes.
Okay. It said
here's the site. The DNS hasn't updated yet. Just trust me. It works. It works, and it does basic website things. So if you're really, really not wanting to do web design, or you're really, really, really uncomfortable with paying for a paid website service, this is a $12 a year solution for you to get a website out in 15 minutes. If you have your photos and your copy organized and you're ready to go, that's literally an answer for you, and you can take advantage of that.
I will say what's really nice about Google, even though it's not the most amazing website, like Alex was saying, it's a good alternative. The nice thing is all the clicks, all the data that you get from like normally going to Google, like when you go to your Google business page, that's all tied through that, and it helps with SEO and all that kind of stuff. So it does integrate with what Google Business does really well. But that would be something where you need somebody, to me, that's where I need somebody to help me set that up versus a Shopify or something like that. Shopify has a little bit more functionality, but you're going to pay a lot more.
Well, and this is the kind of stuff too that, and I don't want to like go off track and get all marketplace on you guys, but like this is the kind of thing where it's like you charge $40 and set a Google site up for somebody. I mean, like if you have the skills and you have the eye for design, like this is so easy. It costs your customer nothing extra, and they get a website and you get $40. Like, I mean, just stuff like that. I really, really, really like that kind of stuff. And I definitely see a lot of value in that I'm looking forward to seeing evolve there. But again, I don't want to go off on a marketplace tangent at the moment, but yeah, I'm going to mess around with this for another minute while we continue talking, because I really want to, I want to link that stupid.
I got a good one for you. Got G Smith coming up. All right, hit it, go.
On my 50 watt, I'm guessing it's JPT or DOT. Guessing JPT. Fiber laser. There's two red lasers when framing. They're offset from each other by like 0.5 to 1 millimeter. It's annoying because I don't know which one to use as a true reference. Ideas? Yes, I have two at least. For one, you can use a metal card or a piece of scrap and literally just mark onto a piece of scrap and see which one lines up. That's option one. Option two is you can align the one you want to use to the mark using the red dot alignment guide that Alex posted. And then you can pick between which one you want, if one's brighter or whatever. Option three, the reason why you have two is because the JPT source that you have has a built-in one, and the second one's coming from a beam combined one. and they're not lined up apparently, which isn't abnormal. That does happen sometimes. The other way you can resolve that is by disabling one of them, and then you'll only have one. If you disable the one inside the source, you're probably going to have to talk to the manufacturer on how to do that. They're probably going to have to, you're going to have to get a cable to connect to the source, and you're going to have to install a piece of software to talk to the source itself, not through the laser control card. And alternatively, you can just unplug the power to the red dot on the beam combiner in the laser path at the top.
Word.
Did you guys have any other feedback for that one?
No, that was the first part you said was what I was going to suggest, which is just deactivating the red light and see what happens. Because that kind of...
You'll notice one's probably brighter than the other. Usually the beam combined red dot is a little more powerful and full, I would say, than the one that's integrated, at least usually. And it doesn't mean the integrated one's bad. It's there for a purpose and it serves its purpose. But when you have a beam combined one, you can run into stuff like this where you have two. So as long as you go through the process of aligning the one that you're actually using and turning off or unplugging the one that you're not, pro tip, you can't unplug the internal one. You have to turn it off through software. Talk to the manufacturer. That's a whole different thing that we can't really get into. Hope that helps.
All right, next one. You got Seasons down there?
Yes. Seasons Creation says, which laser machine is best, 60 or 100 watt? It depends. What are you doing with it?
And that's what Anthony asked too, right?
Yeah. What are you doing with it? What is your goal? What are you using it for? Is this a CO2 laser or a fiber laser? Is it a galvo or a gantry? What are your projects going to be? If you were talking about a fiber laser, if you're going to do a lot of plastics or like very soft materials, metals that are gentle, you're not doing a lot of digging, a 60 watt would be better than 100 watt because it's going to give you more control because you control laser power with percentage. So like 4% of a 60 watt is going to be only a couple of watts. 4% of 100 watt is going to be 4 watts. So you get a little more linear control out of it that way. It's a little more easier to fine tune on that. If you're going to be doing a lot of digging and depth, 3D engraving or 3D height maps and light burn, 100 watt is going to dig in a lot faster and more efficiently than a 60 watt if you fine tune it to do so. Because it has that brute force behind it. So you kind of have to balance what you're targeting to and what you want to complete to the laser that you purchase.
And the other thing too is the source matters. Like, is it JPT? Is it going to be a MOPA? What is it going to be? Most likely going to be MOPA with the 60 and 100, right?
Yeah.
And so that goes back to what you're trying to do with it too. Like Kyle said, because then that gives you a wider range of plastics and how you can manipulate them, and metals for color and all that kind of stuff too. So hopefully that helps. But the next question is about UVs.
Yep.
All right.
Just to follow up, the reason that the Google domains, like Google Sites website, isn't connecting is because we have a business like admin account set up for multiple users and permissions aren't set right. And it's like this whole complicated thing that isn't going to affect like 90% of people. So disregard my struggle and take my word for it. It is incredibly fast and easy to do. That's it. Sorry, just to put a bow on that.
What can UVs do good besides glass and plastic? And the answer that Beam It Up Laser Works, aka Anthony, said literally everything.
It's true.
Like basically. But what's really, we were actually talking about this. So this is cork, and that was like the first try I ever did on cork, and it came out super great, right? Bam.
The UV tends to do that a lot. First tries. Yeah.
Well, and here's what's crazy too is on wood. We were just talking about this the other day. Look at the wood. That is some deep engraving. And
it's got a really, really fine edge.
Yeah. And on top of that, the the darkness of it, like really the contrast was so good. But the problem is this took forever. And so one of the things we were just talking about, I think, was it us or was it in maybe the mod chat where basically I think it was it's in mod chat where Anthony had talked about how he just got the new UV, and Alex brought up the fact that really the life expectancy of a UV laser source is basically 10% of a fiber laser, right? So 10,000 hours versus
I use specifically the example of the CO2 galvo because it would be another galvo, like wood target, right? And the idea is the UV is basically always going to be better, and we're not talking about fiber, right? Like UV's marking metal, fiber's engraving it, different things. But when we're comparing wood engraving specifically between a UV and a CO2 galvo, UV's always going to win. Always. It's got a smaller dot size. The mark is cleaner. It just looks nicer. But you can push the CO2 galvo button 10 or more times for every one time you push the UV button before they die, right? You get about 10,000 button pushes on the UV before your source is kaput. And you get 100,000 or more, especially with tube recharges, out of something like a CO2 galvo. If you're doing bulk work, really simple marks, really clean vectors, something very, very simple, and you're doing a lot of them, CO2 galvo makes far more sense just from an economical standpoint. Yes, the UV is going to deliver a better mark, but you're using your very limited use of the UV to complete bulk orders. The CO2 galvo is far more capable of doing large numbers of items and is going to last longer doing so.
And I was going to mention the use case, which is glass. So for me, a glass costs $1.25, and I can charge $10 to $15 for a glass. So if you're looking at what a CO2 galvo does for $6 on metal, like if I make a glass or a tumbler, I can make $10 too. And a UV can do a stainless steel tumbler as well. But that's one of those things where it's like the CO2 galvo for your return on investment is going to be a way better device versus the fact that it can't do glass like a UV galvo can. So that's one of those things. The use case is also a big part of it. And also like that's how I paid off mine pretty quickly is I had like 300 or 250 of the glass ornaments. And so that's why it was worth it to me because it was like bam, and every time was like $5, right? That's it. You were waiting for that, weren't you? That shattered my eardrum. Just the left one though. So, but anyways, and that's one of those things too. Like if you buy it for that purpose and that's what you got it for, then that's it. And Kyle, were you going to say something too, bud?
I was going to say, and project for the ones that do translate well between the two lasers or the three laser types, UV is going to take substantially longer because the dot size is physically 4 to 5 times smaller.
Mm-hmm.
And it's going to take that much longer to mark as so many more lines across that material to mark the same space.
Oh,
and potentially slower because of the lack of wattage.
What do we love to say, Matt? It's you can have it fast, you can have it good, or you can have it cheap, right?
Pretty much.
You have to pick two.
The other thing I'll tell you though too is leather. Like UV on leather is incredible. There's zero cleanup and it's really clean, like super, super clean. Leisha Pate does amazing work with all the leather stuff she does.
Yes, she's a boss with leather.
Mm-hmm. All right, we got more.
Hit it.
Let's see.
All I want to do is have some fun.
Andrew said he's going to be adding more listings for the extra support stuff too.
Oh,
word. Awesome. We're ready.
Maybe for Google websites. And the last one was this one.
No.
UV engraves?
Yes. If the sun sits magnified against something long enough, it will engrave something, and the UV will do the same. It's just going to take time.
I like the use of the question marks and the exclamation point. No one ever does that kind of stuff.
The UV will engrave organics.
Yes.
Occasionally, depending on the organic, and some synthetics occasionally, depending on the synthetic, and will not engraved metal. So it really depends on the material we're talking about there and how well or poorly it absorbs ultraviolet. So it really, really depends. UV engraves alone, not a good sentence, not accurate. So just be careful. I wouldn't pick up a UV right now thinking it's just going to engrave everything under the sun.
Right.
Not necessarily true.
And
in fact, it's majority not true. So just be aware, get a list. People like us are always around to help. We have a bunch of links to our billion different communities down south in the description if you want to go check that out and ask specific questions about what a UV will or will not engrave. But I wanted to asterisk that.
Yep. And Alicia also said acrylic on a UV, paper cardstock on a UV does well. But the other thing too, if you're about to drop $6,000 to $10,000 on a UV laser, because that's usually where they start and kind of go up to 6 to 12 probably.
Yeah.
I highly suggest when you talk to whatever manufacturer that you decide to purchase from, send them a message because they have all these materials laying around their warehouses. Say, hey, I'm buying it to do this. I'd really like to see this logo, especially if you're going to be doing one thing. They will absolutely do that kind of thing. They'll do a use test for you.
Yeah.
It takes them 30 seconds to download it, a couple of minutes to set it up, and they'll take a video for you. And you can actually see the application of what you're going to try to do with it. It's filmed. So just something to think about.
If you guys can name this sound, I will be very impressed.
That is Billy Madison? What? No, is that an Adam Sandler film?
No.
I thought he was saying my legs.
He's saying my leg. Yeah.
Cuban says, well, should I save it for a 15 watt or only get a 5 watt?
Oh my God.
In relation
watts.
to the UV.
A 15 watt. Where are you pulling the money out for that?
Do you want? I don't think that would be allowed in a dorm, bro.
You're talking a very large, very heavy piece of equipment if you're getting a 15 watt, because you also need a water chiller for that, and they're huge.
What are you going to use it for?
Everything. Laser everything.
I would say 5 watt is a good all rounder to get anyone started.
By the way,
if you want more power than a 5 watt, go to a 10 watt.
Alicia would know.
Yeah. When you're looking at the ballpark of 12 to 15 watt UV, you're easily in the ballpark of 16 to 25 grand, depending on what source, which water chiller, which accessories, if it's 3D, et cetera, et cetera. The cost adds up very quickly. Whereas with the 5 watt UV, you're solidly in the ballpark of 5,000 or something.
That's
like that.
also a 1-year lease on a property.
Dude, 5 watt, great. Yep. Excellent. Even 10 watt, stellar. 15 watt, stupid. Ridiculous.
Unless you have something
you
already know.
Here's a specific question for you. It's a yes or no question. Are you planning on cutting silicon wafers? If the answer is no, you don't need a 15 watt. That's it. That's all there is to it.
And that's
the answer is no.
Our hour. That's it. That's the hour.
We ended it.
Yeah.
Damn.
That was fast.
That was fast.
Did you even get to use all your sounds?
I didn't, but we could do a couple more.
Come back next week. No, keep them coming back for more.
9,000!
It's Dragon Ball Z.
Yeah.
What's this one? Oh, I gotta keep up with Kyle. I'm keeping up with Kyle. I see you, bro. Haha. And this one.
Convince my dad to let me use the rest of my savings on a 15 watt. Don't do it. It's a trap. Just get the 10 watt if you're gonna go ham.
Buy a car, man.
Or a car.
Yeah. He's gonna swipe his credit card and it's gonna be like,
okay, we have to go. We have to go.
His wallet just flying away like a bird.
It's just getting thrown into the ocean. Please just end the show.
No.
That was not AOL. That was Windows shutting down.
Listen up, guys. Thank you for watching this episode of the Laser Scripts Podcast live. If you're here with us live, if you're listening to the re-recording, we appreciate you anyway. Don't forget to smash the like button. Let everybody else know the content is good. And don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you get notified the next time I have a bunch of soundboard sounds to share. Please, after this episode concludes, head down and leave us a comment. Let us know what your favorite sound of the night was. And don't forget to please visit the description and check out Andrew Farmer's GoFundMe and the link to his shop on the marketplace where he's selling Shopify setup services. We have to support this dude. We have to do it. Andrew has done so much for all of us. I know for a fact this man has just put in just an absurd amount of work for literally no pay, and then works to take care of his family after the fact. Time to step up. Let's do the right thing and get Andrew up on his feet. Thank you so much, Andrew, dude. Seriously, we appreciate you. And that's the only plug I'm going to do tonight. That's literally your only homework. So if you guys could go ahead and knock that out for me, I'd really appreciate it. I think that's all I've got. Do you guys have any closing thoughts before we go?
That's it.
If you're not subscribe, hit the like button, and all the links we talked about are in the description.
So loud.